the 17th of January, and I dropped the kids off at my mom's, and I'm just getting home, and I'm very excited to have kid-free time. So I'm gonna change the style of the podcast to more like a vlog, and so I'm hoping to like keep you with me throughout the day. I literally just threw on clothes and took the kids to my mom's, so I'm gonna get ready and clean up a little, and then I'm gonna sit down with something warm to drink and my knitting, and we'll chat. I just realized my phone stand, like my little holder, is in a box somewhere. So I'm gonna have to get creative as to how to prop my phone up, so I can show you my knitting, so I can talk without holding the phone so close to my face. Okay, I just have the phone propped up against like a little computer stand sitting on the floor, and I made some eggs, and I have some decaf coffee, and I thought I would just chat and visit for a minute. Sushi's here. This is our cat Sushi. We have two cats. Sushi's our indoor one, and Lewis was supposed to be indoor, but then he just misbehaves, so we've had to make him an outdoor cat. But yeah, we're in our new house, and we moved January 2nd. If you're new here, welcome. And we just moved here. We now live in north central Arkansas again, in the Ozark Mountains. We just moved from Springfield, Missouri, so not too far away. It's like 2 hours. But in the last 2 years, we have moved three times out of state. So not planned. We moved to Louisiana to be closer to family. It didn't work out. It wasn't for us. We were stuck down there for a year because of my husband's contract with work. And so as soon as that was up last spring, we had looked at moving back closer to here. And then we kind of daydreamed for a little bit about like, well, where have we ever wanted to live? And, because we kind of had that freedom. He was gonna be doing a different job. I don't know. And we thought about Florida. That's where I lived like the first 12 years of my life. But, and I have family down there still. And I love warmer weather. Like I struggle with the cold a little bit, with depression and stuff. But I don't know. I've lived 20 years in the Ozark Mountains now. And so we ended up in Springfield, Missouri. We found work there and a house, and it just worked out great, and we loved the area. And then in November we went down. We had some friends that are like family visit here in Mountain Home. They were visiting their parents, and so we came down to see them. We hadn't seen them since one couple we hadn't seen since before COVID, and then the other couple had been even longer. So we kind of had like a family reunion with them, and I just got really emotional. I got to see my mom on that visit, And being back here, it was just, I don't know, I felt a really big pull, and I wanted to be closer to my mom to help her if she needs any help. And also my husband's stepmom and his grandmother live here, and it became like, I don't know, I just felt like they could use some help too. So we talked about it for like a week and decided that we would see if it would work for us. We just kind of, started looking for a house, and my husband looked into his job, if it would be something he could do here, and it was, and so things just fell into place, and we found a house kind of right away, and moved. So end of November is when we made the decision, and then we were able to move January 2nd. So we're moved in. I did realize as I was like getting my breakfast together and stuff, there is going to be some construction on the house today. So I don't know if that'll interrupt this or if it'll be loud at any point. I don't know what they're doing today, but this is the main part of the house, like it's open concept. So kitchen and dining, and then I'm in the living room, and then our bedrooms are, well, I could just move you. Our bedrooms are off down that hallway, and then off the kitchen, there is a laundry room, and off of that is the garage, and off of the garage, they built, someone built like an addition. And so I think this house originally was like a 2-bedroom. Well, yeah, it was 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And another big room and bathroom was added on the far end. So we, the guy that was selling the house, we know, and he talked to us about turning that into a bedroom. And it's a very large room, so it's going to be our bedroom and my sewing space. So although not ideal, because I do like to be able to close off my, I don't know, I'm a messy creator, or that sounds weird, messy maker. When I'm doing stuff, anything that's creative, like whatever it is, drawing or sewing, or I guess not knitting. I mean, it can be, but you kind of have it contained and by you. But I don't know. Sewing especially, I'm so messy, and I don't know. I like to hide it away. So I haven't always been able to have like a separate sewing space, but if I can, I like to. And this house just felt right for us. It has a fenced-in yard, and it's in a neighborhood, but it's still super quiet and technically like the country. So yeah, we're making it work, and I think it'll be really good. We're trying to, so they're gonna, that bedroom needs remodeled, so they're going to like we get to put the closet where we want. He's like taking our ideas into consideration, and texts me about, do you want, like today he asked if I want regular doors or pocket doors on the closet, and I said pocket doors, because I like to be able to, the idea of being able to hide the door, or there being one if I need it. I don't know. So yeah, that's how we ended up here, and I'm hoping his estimate is like 3 weeks. Well, he said 2 weeks. I add a week just to be safe. So once the bedroom's done, then I can get moved in and then work on bags again. So, all right. I'm gonna eat my breakfast for just a minute, and then I'll be back and we can talk more, okay? I couldn't find my diffuser, so my hair is drying. Hair drying. It's not ideal. Partially wet hair on a podcast, but that's what I'm doing. So I thought I would change the look of the podcast. Partly because, well, at the time I was thinking that I struggle with getting podcasts out regularly, because with our kids, I mean, I homeschool them, and they are ages, let's see now, 9, 7, and almost 6. So they're all in school, homeschool, and they're always home. Like, they're always with me. So I struggle sometimes to find enough like quiet time, especially when I know at this house too, until our bedroom's done, I won't have like a space where I could get away and at all podcast for any length of time that's quiet. So I was watching, I always liked Melody Hoffman's vlogs that she does, where it's just kind of, I mean, hers are very quiet and peaceful, and I know mine will be different a little bit. But I liked that style. I'm sorry, I keep looking out the window because it snowed over the weekend and it's starting to melt today, and it's just big chunks keep falling off, and I don't know, the sky's so blue, and if there's a window, I'll look out it. I can't help it. Anyways, Brook Willow, I think that's her name. I'll put it on the screen, what her podcast is called. She's on Instagram too, but I just started following her recently, and I had watched like, I don't know, one of her podcasts a while ago, but then her more recent one, she kind of like changed the way she does them, and it just felt really, I don't know, I really liked it. And I thought, you know what, maybe I would have an easier time recording more often if I could do like little snippets of video kind of throughout the day and then combine them together to make more of a vlog and still share my knitting, but kind of, sorry, it's the dishwasher, have, I don't know, just other stuff that makes it up. And also, I don't always have a ton of knitting to show, and so then I thought maybe it'll just be nice to talk about other things too, something that's still just a way of sharing and being part of this community, but then also not, sorry, it might even be one more time. I don't remember if it's 2 or 3 times, but yeah. But I didn't know that I was gonna get a day to myself. So just before we moved here, my mom had offered, she said, when you move, 3 times, she said, when you move, what about, like, would you like a day? Would it work out for me to have the kids for a day? And my mom's very hands-on with like, I don't know, she's very brainy. Her house is like a library slash, like a hardware store slash Montessori school. Montessori school in a good way, but also kind of maybe, as chaotic as that sounds, like that's probably accurate. But anything you ever need, she is a maker of all kinds, like woodworking, jewelry. She does all kinds of art, sculpture and painting, and she does something for a while and like attains all the tools needed for it, and then stops doing that hobby or whatever, and then switches to something else. And so as her daughter, it works out, because then if I need, I'm like, hey, do you have a leather punch, or do you have tools for polymer clay? And she does. She always has all the stuff. So it works out really nice for the kids. They get really excited, and they've not had the time that their cousins do with their Mima. And so my mom offered to do science with them every Monday. So they are studying reptiles, amphibians, and fish. I think that's what it was. Reptiles, amphibians, and fish. And it's a science unit from the Good and the Beautiful curriculum with my mom. Then like last week, she took out everything in her house that had anything to do with reptiles and amphibians, which covered her table in prep for like figuring out what they would do each week. So my youngest, who is almost 6, she was so excited when we went to the library on Thursday. She found a book about I think it was just reptiles. And she had to check it out and bring it to Meemaw's. And I was like, I think Meemaw has like a bunch of books on it. And she's like, Mom, I have to bring this. So she remembered this morning and was like proudly carrying it into Meemaw's house, and I dropped them off. But anyways, that, like, I thought I would still give this type of podcast a try. Kind of a, I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see how it goes. I'll do what I want, right? Okay, let's talk about knitting. My newest project is one that I'm really excited about. Let's see if I have I do. I'm knitting it with, I don't know if this is gonna all be reversed. I can't remember, because I always do a front-facing camera just because I like to see if it's gonna be blurry or there's gonna be technical problems. I wanna know. So I don't remember if it's reversed or not on you, but it's from Knit Picks, and it is palette, and it is a fingering weight Peruvian Highland wool hand wash, 231 yards, and this color is called Hazelnut. The sweater that I am working on for that is the Wool and Honey, and it is by Andrea Mowry. I may have said that already, but I am, okay. And normally I do my nails. I used to never do manicures, and then I just do my little at-home ones, and I love it. Like, I love, because I use my hands so much, it's nice to feel like that's some part of me that's also taken care of. Because I don't take care of myself as well. I'm getting better, but I haven't done it in a while. Not since we moved, because I've just been working so hard. And so let me just check them to make sure I'm not going to get embarrassed when I look back and watch this video later. These are on currently number 4s. I did not swatch. I'm doing this as a part of a knit along, Craft Me Not Yarn company. I think her name was Sarah, but she is doing a knit along, and it runs through January 1st through April 30th, I believe. And when I saw that, I got excited because it was something I've had on my to knit list for a long time. And so my knitting bestie, Stacy, who I would love to have on here one day, like podcast, have her like a, what do you call it? A guest. So, my friend Casey, who has a podcast, what's it called? Youngfolk Knits. She's been having Rebecca on there, or Becky. Everyone calls her Becky. I'm the only one that calls her Rebecca. It's just something. Our kids are all friends too, and I got to know Rebecca over text first before hanging out with her in person, and so I got used to calling her Rebecca. But I'm also historically like to call people names differently than what everyone else does. Like, it just, I love middle names. I love finding out someone's middle name. But like the two of them being, I love when Casey's by herself, but I love it when Rebecca's on there too. And so I thought I need to have Stacy on here because she's my knitting bestie, and she's an amazing knitter, and we are both knitting the Wool and Honey sweater together. So her color that I can't remember the name of hers, but she's also doing it with palette, and maybe we can get on and share our sweaters together maybe next time, or when they're finished, and then we can share them once they're done. But I cast on Friday evening, and I got quite a bit of knitting time in over the weekend, and it's going really, really nice. So I didn't swatch, but Craft Me Not shared some of like she has a story highlight, and she shares quite a bit about her, about the Wool and Honey, like, because this is her second time knitting it, and so she talks a lot about yarn choice, and this is a non-superwash yarn, and she kind of highlights where she thinks that's important, kind of mostly just like it's because of the grip on the honeycombs, those little strands that lay over that it helps having not that they get felted, but anyways, she says that in her highlight. But I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, we picked palette, and maybe we can go on and share those together. But I'm really enjoying it. I love a meditative knit, like something that's like, I don't know what you call it. I call it TV knitting, but like there could be a million things going on, but it's just, you know, it's like either like just stocking knit or garter, and whether it's the body of a sweater or something, like it's just, you don't have to do a lot of thinking. If you just get distracted, you can pick it back up. I've gravitated toward those a lot just because my life has been kind of hectic for a while. But when there is something that changes, whether it's cables or like this with the little honeycombs, when they're just starting out, so you can't really, like, that's just the top of the comb, I guess. It's fun to see it emerge, and it's so enjoyable. And oh, look, this is my little, so Sarah from Simply Sarah Knits is my, is a friend of mine, and we actually met on Instagram and then realized that we're both Jehovah's Witnesses, which is already kind of a bonding thing anyways, because you just have so much in common. But then she has little kids, and we got to talking, and we've been friends now a couple years, and we got to meet in person last summer. Yeah, she came and visited us, and then she just recently started a little stitch marker business, and it is going so well for her. And I bought, let's see, oh, I keep my stitch markers in, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't sell any of these, but I used to sell these little mini petal pouches, but you can get this pattern from Noodlehead. Like, the petal pouches pattern is from Noodlehead. And then I keep my stitch markers in this like little vintage, I think it's a pill case, but it's silver, and then inside it's like, oof, mirrored. It's just so cute. But I ordered, she shared, let's see if you can see it. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but it's a fiddle leaf fig. I'll try to take a picture of them and then I'll share it on the screen. But it's like this neutral color with speckles, and it's got a little fiddle leaf, and then she did a lobster claw, because always on here I think, oh, I should have something that shows my progress, so that way, like, hey, this is where it was at when I podcast you, and then the next time, I'm gonna put this on my sweater right now, because then the next time we can say, oh, that's how much it grew. But it's a fiddle leaf. These are my first, okay, so stitch markers, the ones I typically have are, I don't know, ones that come with certain knitting kits, or I bought some like bulk ones on Amazon that are just like the little colored rings. I love a good lobster claw one. I've got them in like gold. I bought like a bulk pack from Amazon. My hand's so big. But I have never like spoiled myself with kind of like fancier stitch markers. I just felt like I could use the money for other things. I don't know. And I wanted to support Sarah, but then also I loved that it was a fiddle leaf fig, because I have had kind of always a giant fiddle leaf in our house, and which sadly mine got destroyed in the move. That and my monstera, my two big plants, got destroyed because they could not fit in a car, and they got put in a covered trailer, and because it was 17 degrees, they did not like it. So that is super sad. But so I got this, and then it came with little, ooh, I have one of the, they're like little leaves. So these are on lobster claws, and then there's I think there's like a white one. That's what I bought, but then she sent me as a surprise. Well, she told me, but she sent me like a little gift of all these little flower ones, like on loops, and enough so that I could do, if I was doing a raglan sweater, I would have enough for all the, you know, what is it? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. So I've never had the polymer. They're so light and they're like slightly flexible, and I just really like them. And she's making the cutest little sets. So if you haven't ever checked her out, her little shop, be sure to do that. So that's that one. And that is my current thing, and that's what I plan on just like staying busy with. I love it. Like, it makes me really happy just working on it. And my husband watched a lot of football this weekend, and I just sat and knit the whole time. I'm not a big football person. Like, I don't follow it very well. But I was happy to have my knitting. So, I'll be right back. My foot's falling asleep sitting here, so I'm gonna have to like reposition. And then I have one more whip to show you. And then, I don't know what I'll talk about, something else. Scrunching the crunch out of my hair. It's mostly dry. To be honest. I mean, if you've been following me for a while, my hair was longer. I don't know, it's been short, it's been long, it's short again, and I love it. I did it mostly just because I was really getting tired. I was feeling unimaginative with my longer hair, like couldn't think of ways to put it up. I honestly think it was too long for what I like. So I cut it, but then now I've decided I don't love it short. I think it looks fine. It's naturally curly, but I have like such different textures. It's extremely curly in the back. This side just only likes to barely wave, and then this one's kind of like in the middle. So I don't know. I'm gonna grow it back out, but not as long, just somewhere around here, so I can put it up when I want to. I feel like, I asked my husband, I was like, do you like me better with short hair or long hair? And he goes, we've been having this discussion for 15 years. And I was like, yeah. Also, the guys are here working on the bedroom out there, so you might hear some banging, which is exciting because that means stuff's getting done. I moved. I was like, oh wait, I can also sit my little phone setup on the table. So this is our dining room table, and I just have one more project to show you. Well, I might show you two, but oh, and I got some yarn, so I'll show you that in a second too. But the other thing I'm working on is it's by Rainer and Bear, and It's the Otter Ferry cardigan. And I have done, it'll be my first sweater where you piece it together. But here's the back panel. It's done in fisherman's rib. And it's for sizes, it's like baby up to 6 years old, but I feel like it's a generous, or maybe it's more than that. I can't remember what the sizes go up to. I'm knitting the size 6, but I want to say that it's a very generous 6. I think a lot of her patterns are generous in their sizing, which is great. And I think a cardigan, just like other knit things, is nice to kind of have some play with the length so that they can wear it longer. But this is the back panel, and then this is one sleeve. So it's knit flat, and then that's one sleeve, and this is the second sleeve. And now I'm doing the front pieces like this section. So I just started that. So I have 2 of these to knit, and then seaming it together, and there might be a button band. I can't remember. I'm assuming. So this is for my youngest daughter. My oldest will probably fit it too. They can probably wear it interchangeably, assuming they would get along well enough to share something. But I am using Knit Picks Dishie in their cone. I bought 3 of these, which one will probably knit the whole sweater. And I think these are like $13.99 or something. So very inexpensive project. But that's what I've been working on, and then I just kind of paused for a minute to knit on the woolen honey. But it's just, Dishie is great for washcloths, and it's just a cotton yarn, and this is their, I don't remember what color, I want to say it's just their bare, like kind of an undyed, but if not, it might be their swan. No, but I feel like swan is more white. Anyways, it's a very just natural creamy color. So yeah, that's my only 2 things I'm working on right now. I have, a friend was teasing me about not finishing projects, and I kind of feel like that's been the case. I finished, oh, that's one thing I did have. I had one finished project, but I knit her a hat, and I gifted it to her, and it was just, I don't know if I took any pictures of it, but if I did, I'll put it on the screen. If I didn't, it's just the pattern by Pearl Soho, their classic ribbed hat, and I knit it in the 2nd to largest size. I could have probably done 1 size up, but I feel like I was worried about it being too big, and I used Malabrigo, their sock yarn, in Cirrus Gray, which is kind of like a blue gray, and it turned out really nice. And I got more of the Malabrigo in different colors to knit a few more of them, because after I knit it for her, I was like, I want one of these. So that'll be in the future projects to do. I do want to share one other project. This is my basket of whips, kind of hibernating. I have this, and I can't remember what the name of it is. I'll put it on the screen. It's a Pam Allen pattern. And I was knitting, I really want to pick this back up because I was talking to you about wanting wool sweaters for just a layer to keep me cozy, and this one is supposed to be generous and squishy and cozy. Hold on. When I'm home alone, noises startle me. Especially, I mean, earlier there was a sound, and then I realized it was the cat outside that had probably gotten under the house and was making noises, and then I thought I heard a knock on the door, but I think it was just the guys working out in the garage. But it gave me a second, and I was looking through this basket and just, I have all kinds of crazy things in here. Like, this is some yarn that I bought, and it is, I think it's Quince & Co. Chickadee. I can't remember. It's like the softest petal kind of peach cream, but extremely, like, see, this is more of a cream, this kind of like a pink color to it. I don't even know what yardage I have, but it was several, I bought it used. And then I've used some of it for toes and socks. And then I was starting a shawl, but I don't even remember what. But it's in here, so I was frogging this so I can use it and save it for something. You can hear it working. I probably won't record too much longer because it might be getting loud, but this sweater, oh, I'll go grab the book. Hold on. Just stay right there. It's in this one, Plain and Simple, 11 Knits to Wear Every Day by Pam Allen. And the sweater, I've shared it on here before. Oh, one I've always wanted to do. Sorry, it's got bad angles, huh? It's like my head keeps getting cut off, but we're just working with what we got today. Willow, I have yarn already set aside for this, and I would love to make that. I think it's so beautiful. Okay, this one's called, oh, it is called Birch. I thought Birch, but there's the new pattern by Andrea Mowry called Birch that I also want to knit, and it was making me think maybe I was wrong, but it's this one. So it's kind of got that dolman sleeve. I don't necessarily love that, but Tecumseh has that, and it's fine while you're wearing it, but when you lift up, it does pull my sweater up. But this one is knit nice and long, and I do want to knit mine. At first I was thinking I didn't want it to be so long because I wanted it more to just wear with jeans, but now I'm just like, I'm fine, because I kind of would like to wear it with leggings too, so I wouldn't mind if it covered a little bit of my bottom. But this is knit with Simply Wool by Knit Picks. The color is Wilhelmina. The skeins are 218 yards. And it's a rust. I don't know, I feel like things are starting to feel softer to me than, I feel like it's quite soft. Not soft like merino or cashmere, but for a, because it's just called 100% eco wool. And it's a superwash. No, non-superwash. It's a hand wash, I meant to say. But the body is knit in this, and I had started, I might have to tick back, and I stopped where I had started for the armpits, but I don't know if that's, I studied a lot of like the finished projects on Ravelry, and then was going by the, I found ones that I liked, and then the length that they suggested, I want to say it was like 15 inches that the pattern calls for, and then you put some stitches on hold for the under the arm, but I think I did 13. So it's not that much shorter because it is a dolman. Anyways, it's like one of those ones, have you seen those little reels on Instagram, and it's like the person pulls their knitting out and they're like, let's see, where was I? And then, oh yes, in the pit of despair. I feel like that's what I feel like when I look at this basket a little bit, just like, I want this, I want it, but it kind of stresses me out since it's been down for so long, like where even was I? But I'm right at the armpits, so that shouldn't be too hard to figure out. And then the contrast color, I had got some Simply Wool, their Wanda, which is just their undyed. Well, actually, none of these are dyed because this is their natural color. If that makes sense. They're all, this line is all undyed. But this one, this color is called Wanda. And so it'll be just like the picture. I kind of just went with what the picture looked like. And so that's what I'm hoping to pick back up. But right now, Wool and Honey, I gotta finish that Otter Ferry and then I'll pick this back up and work on that. And that's what I'm hoping to finish up. So that's it for my whips. And I don't have any finished objects to show, but I did want to share some acquisitions. So let me be right back again and I will go get those out of the closet. All right, I raised it up a tiny bit higher. I set it on a basket. Okay, so like the day before we were moving, I think it was like the night before, or I don't even remember. I just know it was my first package that I was gonna have shipped here. And it is from Stars Hollows Yarns. They had a sale. I haven't even opened it. They had a sale, hold on. I was leaving it in the package because I just don't really have a place to put them yet, and I didn't want the kids or the gato to get them. Oh, okay. Got two. Okay. Basically, I've bought two colors, but in two different weights. So let's pull that out. Okay. So they were having, ooh, I saw it falling. Oh, maybe if I put my Knit Picks cone behind it. There, okay. Stars Hollows Yarns was having a sale. They had a buy one, get one half off on all their yarn. And then they had, it was 20% off of Quince & Co. and then a couple other brands. And I think this is the only Quince & Co. that I had tried, like not even directly from them, but kind of some leftovers. And I got excited and I wanted to try them, and I wanted some yarn to make the sweaters I've been talking about, like not specific patterns in mind, but more cardigans or pullovers that are wool and warm. So I wanted to buy them. I didn't want to just mindlessly buy the yarn and not have enough for a project. So I went through the patterns and picked out what I thought I would make, and then colors that I would want it in. But I was also doing it in the middle, like it was the day before we moved or the day after we moved. I just remember being in the night and I saw the sale, and I just went on there, and I wanted to, like, I don't know, I don't even remember. Maybe it was the day. Oh, they're working. I thought maybe they were knocking. Anyways, I forget what I got them for. I know that I got these three just because I wanted them. This is all that they had in this color. So this is Quince & Co. Chickadee. It's 100% American wool, and it's a sport weight. Did I say the color? It's called Gingerbread 120. And I got 3 of these, and the color is just so rich and so pretty. It's very similar to my Wool and Honey, except I feel like this is a little bit more red in it than the hazelnut of that one. But so I got these 3 skeins. I wanted to get more. I can't remember what these had been marked down to, like what it came to, like $7 a skein or something. But they didn't have enough on any more of this color, and then I was unsure of, like, I get really indecisive about colors. I know for my knits I wanted to add some like rich deep tones in, so that I don't have that right now in my wardrobe. A lot of my store-bought ones are neutrals, like creams. I think either, yeah, like I have 3 cream sweaters. So I wanted some colors, and I have some, like a dark green in my stash and a DK that I'm excited to, like I have a sweater quantity of that I got in a D stash from Instagram, but I wanted to add. So anyways, I got this. I don't know yet what I'll use these for. This is a sport. But then I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 skeins of Lark in the same color. And so that's the gingerbread. And it's a worsted weight, and each of these are 134 yards. The problem is I picked these out specifically knowing what yard, I figured out the yardage. I know what sweaters it wasn't, but I was looking at the field day jacket. I was looking at the winter beach cardi. I feel like one was a pullover though that I was looking at. Like there's like 4 or 5 patterns I'd looked through, and then I picked which ones the weight that I could find on the site that was on sale, that had enough of the colors, because I'd pick one and then I wouldn't have enough in stock of that color. Anyways, so Stacy, my Yellowbird's Knits, she told me, she's like, I'm surprised, because I'm kind of I love to organize stuff. Like I have 3 kids, my life is crazy, not everything's clean, but I love having things organized. So I always have like a place for everything. And so she said she was surprised that was something I didn't do with my knitting, is that I didn't have it written down, because she keeps a little notebook. And so, because normally I thought, oh, well, don't I do that on Ravelry, but I didn't do it. So I pulled this notebook out of my, I don't know, I have like, if I find a notebook I like, I save it. And it's just, just ruled, and it has like the date in the corner, and I thought it would be good for keeping notes. So this is gonna be my knitting notebook. So maybe you'll see it on future podcasts where I can share my notes that I've written down. I haven't sat down and figured out what cardigan or sweater I had pulled these out for, but I have 9 for these, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. Same thing. This is Lark. The color is Honey 123 worsted weight. So 8 of these. And again, I don't know what sweater I had picked them out for, but I'll do the math, figure out the yardage that I have, and then pick a pattern that works for my needs. It won't be hard to figure out, I'm sure, but that's my acquisitions. It was really exciting. We're currently selling our home in Springfield, and then we're buying this home here. But until our house there sells, which it's under contract, we're just waiting for like all the stuff to finish up. For now, we have a mortgage there and rent here, so we're like on a super tight budget, not spending any extra. But I spent this, but I like put it all in my cart, and then I was like, I can't spend that much. And I was like, maybe I should just get a skein or 2. But I was like, but I never find a sale, and I've never tried this yarn. And I was like, I just want it. And I probably was stress buying, because the last week has been great, but the 2 weeks during packing, moving, and getting settled in were super stressful. I had like such little sleep, and so I found a cash card that when we bought our laptop, we had to buy a new, replace our laptop. And then when we got our phones, Apple had given us, we did it on Apple Credit, and we got like cash back. And so I had like a card with quite a bit on it. And my husband said that he's like, we didn't know it was there. Like, it's been there for a couple months. We bought that like last year. And he's like, we didn't even know it was there. So if you want to use it for whatever. And I was like, I want to use it for yarn. So I did, but it was nice because it felt like a little treat, but it wasn't without the guilt that I feel guilty when I spend money on myself. Sometimes I don't. I've gotten a little bit better about, like, you know, you're allowed to, sorry, it's getting loud. You're allowed to buy things for yourself, but I don't know, this was nice. So I had to get it so that it wasn't more than what was on the card, the gift card, but then was enough to get free shipping, because then, I don't know, you know, like figuring out, do you ever do that? Like figure out your math just right so that it all kind of lines up and works out. And so I didn't have quite enough to get, the math didn't work out for me. It's like an extra skein. I think that's why I got these, because I was like, I might as well get more yarn. But I got this little rubber thimble. I put it in the, I don't even really need a thimble, but it was the only thing I could find on the site that was like cheap enough to just like bump up my thing to where it met the free shipping. So I got a thimble. That's it. So I think I'm gonna end it here. I've got some boxes to unpack, and I don't pick up the kids. It's almost noon now, and so I don't pick up the kids. I drop them off around 9 at my mom's, and then I don't pick them up until 3. So that gives me a couple hours to clean, but then just sit and knit, maybe watch a show. I've been into All Creatures Great and Small season 2. That's what I'm on. But I also saw on PBS that Stacy told me about Around the World in 80 Days. It was good, so I'm gonna check that out too, but I don't know if today, but sometime soon. The sun's out, the snow is melting, the room is being remodeled. But yeah, thank you for following along today, and for I don't know, checking out my very inconsistent podcast. And we'll see if this new style, I mean, I still sat down lots and just kind of sat and talked, but just trying to see what works, and so that I can do it more often. Though for sure with the kids being at my mom's, I will be able to. I feel like my goal is to do it every 2 weeks. So I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm gonna put a reminder on my calendar, on my phone, and we'll see where I'm at with my wool and honey, and if I've figured out what cardigan or pullover these are for. And if you want to follow along, I haven't been sharing any of my my feed itself, but in the stories I've been sharing kind of my progress on my just kind of random stuff. I've just kind of been more, for a while I was sharing only things that pertain to just the business, but now it's just like, I don't know, this is my life, and I'll share what makes me happy on there, and I try to keep that to my stories. But at woolly.bean on Instagram, and then I don't have anything in the Etsy shop right now because I don't have a sewing room yet, but then I'm Woolly Bean on Etsy as well, and then what else? Ravelry, jjdoucet. I'm try to be pretty good about putting like the details, but I'm not great at it. All right, thank you guys. Bye.